Teen Sports listeners, I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m. This is a whole hour of Santa Barbara teen athletes and all those people and all those businesses that support those teen athletes. I am so excited today. Boy, finally we've got Dominique Hackett is finally back. Woo. She has been very busy. Our future master gardener, Dominique Hackett, talk to me.
Good morning, Erica.
How are you?
I'm great.
If I ever need to know what color to wear today or my moon is in transit or whatever, I just call Dominique. Or should I plant my tomatoes now? Talk to me. You're in the whole master gardener. I know you're already making a little uproar because your thesis is something way out there.
Well,
way out there,
yeah.
What is it about?
We're going to do a little mini presentation,
Okay.
me and my classmates.
We want to say some names because, you know, we're a global show.
A call out to Lynn and Amy. And what we're looking at is biodynamic gardening. So the tricky thing is the Master Gardener program is based on research, and specifically, we are an extension of the UC system. So
Nice.
all the advice that a Master Gardener gives for free to all of our community is based on scientific research. And the biodynamic farming has a lot of anecdotic data, but not a lot of research. So that's what we're looking at. And we want to present it because when you fall in love with your garden just grows better.
Nice.
You know, that is so contrary to my form of gardening, where you take the seed, you put it in the ground, you cover it with dirt, you pour water on it, and you watch it grow. I mean...
Well, sometimes for some people,
Good point.
they put it in the ground and it doesn't grow, and
This
they
is
don't know
true.
why.
Uh-huh.
So that's part of what the biodynamic gardening is about. It's looking at the cycles of nature and working with the cycles of nature. And the way I like to think about it is I equate it to surfing. If you want to have a good ride on your surfboard, you want to catch the wave. If you're not going to listen to what the water is telling you, you're not going to get that great of a ride.
You're going to be winding up under the water more often than on top.
Exactly. So that's kind of how it goes with gardening. You want to watch nature.
Yeah.
So we're having a lot of fun with that.
So we're going to have bumper crops and anything in particular because, you know, we've got the sourdough bread lady, Victoria, in the house. We're all like nibbling on some delicious bread. A nice sliced tomato would be nice.
Yes, heirloom.
Heirloom, always. Awesome. Thank you, Dominique. Dominique Hackett. Woo! Yeah. To your left, we have the man. He's noticed as the man right now. Michael
Where is he?
Baker,
Where is he?
CEO, United Boys and Girls.
How we doing, Erica?
Together.
Yeah,
How are you doing, Michael?
I'm doing well.
Good?
I want to ask Dominique, though, you mentioned you're good at growing things. Both Doc and I need hair. Can you grow hair? Can you make that happen?
That is awesome.
Well, there are some secret recipes. I'll see what I can find for you.
Are you in? I'll pay whatever we got to pay.
Well, the problem is I'd have to stop shaving.
Yeah.
Oh, so you do it intentionally.
I
oh,
do it
my
intentionally.
goodness.
This is not
You
not
do
a
that on
genetic
purpose?
Well, it's very thin up
Are you
front.
kidding
so.
me?
That's what he tells himself.
Oh, really? I do too. Yeah, I do the same
really
thing. Mine's intentional.
Exactly.
Yeah, mine's
Sal's
intentional.
too.
Sal's is.
I thought you saw Sal and go, I got to be like Sal.
Yeah. Exactly. My idol.
no.
My
So
idol.
be like Saul.
Yeah, exactly.
You're killing it, Michael. And every time you come out, I love it because it's just been, I just love everything that you are trying to do in this community. Really organize all of the clubs. Like you said, you say it perfectly. You said they're just ready, they were just sitting there ready for growth, as they say. Get some fertilizer, get some, even though we're under drought, boy, you found a way. And I really appreciate that. And I love the whole thing about going after, the kids. A lot of people don't, because you're in Santa Barbara, you're in Little World, but I've actually seen in Goleta driving down an alley from an appointment, and I actually, I closed my eyes, and to this day, it was about a year and a half ago, and I saw a kid picking out of a trash can. We were talking about that in the quiet room. And you don't think, oh, no, not in Santa Barbara, but that's just, let's enlighten us. That is true. There's, I'm not going to say we have a big problem, but, there's kids that, are under the poverty level, and you've done so much. So talk about it.
Well, thank you again for all your support and allowing me to be on the show. This is an honor. One of the things that we found out that is alarming is that, and I mentioned it before, that in the state of California, Santa Barbara, the county of Santa Barbara, has the highest rate of homeless public school children of any county in the state. 13.6% of the students are classified as homeless in the state. You would never think that. How could not Santa Barbara County? Are you kidding me? When you look at the fact that specifically at our clubs that we're talking about, and take the West Side one here in Santa Barbara, 97% of the kids that go to that club every single day are on the free or reduced lunch program at school. That means they live on or below the poverty line. So those children go to school, they get breakfast, they get lunch, and then they come to the Boys and Girls Club. And thanks to great partnerships that we have, they're able to get dinner every night at the Boys and Girls Club. So is it the Boys and Girls Club's responsibility to feed children? No, it's not. But if we don't, who's going to do it? If we don't do it, who's going to do it? So, I mean, we just can't turn a blind eye to something like that.
It's just amazing. What can we do? What can we do to help? What do we work? Because I know we have great relationships. I know you brought a great guest as well, and I know, I mean, they're just amazing. And I think, like what you've been doing all along, you're partnering. You raise awareness, and people don't want to hear it. But you can't let it go on. They've got us. We've got us. This is Santa Barbara. There should be not one kid. I mean, it just kills me. It bothers me.
I think the most powerful thing that we can do is anybody that's listening that wants to see it, just contact me. Contact me at the Boys and Girls Club. It's you can call me at 805-681-1315, and I'll take you on a tour. And it can be any day you want. There's no setup. You're going to see it, and you're going to walk away just like you are, Erica, like you were before. You were a believer before. You've been a long time supporter of the Boys and Girls Clubs, and when you walk in and see what's happening, it's totally changed the perspective. And I have yet to have someone go on a tour and walk out. Nobody's ever gone on a tour and walked out and said, I just don't agree with what you guys are doing. I think this is totally wrong. Everybody walks out going, what can I do to help? And that's where the magic happens.
Well, the beauty is we could use this as a model, and you're the man to do it, because we actually have a bigger problem in the state. We have 2.5 million kids. Okay, so you start it here, you make it, you grow it, you make it right. We've got lots of United Boys and Girls Clubs up and down California, and that is just a great place to be. I mean, it's to take over something that is a need, because you're changing lives. Oh my God, I mean, I can't even imagine a child going hungry. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Well, we have so much. You see the fruit falling on the trees here, right? In Santa Barbara, for God. My neighbor's got like 9 trees. I'm running over there under the cloak of darkness. No, not really. You know what I'm saying? Now he's got dogs. I can't. Okay.
I love the way you say darkness. I love that.
The cloak of darkness. No, I just because I don't have a life. So anyway, anything that we could do, get your phone number again, Michael.
It's area code 805-681-1315.
Nice. Michael Baker, put your hands together. All right. And now we have her in the house. Oh, we got our teen, who I love. She's representing many countries because she speaks 5 languages, and I love that too. How are you doing, my darling?
I'm doing very, very well.
I like it because on the way in this morning, we had this great conversation, and it was, I got to say, you blow me away in so many different ways, okay? Because as I get to know you, because we know I'm your house mom, I guess, per se. But it's just amazing, and I have so much hope for the youth that are coming up, and it's not because you're from Italy, but you are, and maybe it is just like an Italian thing, but when I talk to the young kids between, say, 17 and 20, I mean, you are really in paying attention to what's going on in the world. And then we basically, just for the heck of it, I don't even know why I talked about it, but I'm like, hey, what do you think about, I know we were talking about a lot of different things, but the one thing is that I was fascinated is your take on immigration.
Yeah.
And I know it's kind of crazy, and you're like a 17-year-old kid, but when you were telling me, I mean, my jaw dropped. I mean, I had to sit, in my car for about 15 minutes because, I got to get jacked up for the show. But I was just, I had to process everything you say. So let's start off, first of all, I know nobody understands what Italy is doing in the world as far as what this horrible situation that's going on, and we can't not be mindful of it. So why don't you enlighten, the youth in Santa Barbara?
Yeah, so I mean, we started talking about immigration because, there's a lot of talking about immigration in the United States right now. And often people just come and are like, oh, what do you think about immigration? I'm like, well, I have my opinions about it, but the immigration we have in Europe is a completely different kind of immigration. Because here you guys have Mexican and South American people who want to come here to work and get a better life. And they just escape from bad economic situations. And then we have the European situation where we have people that escape from war. People that come on boats, like that are so filled with people that they literally throw other people overboard in order to have a place on the boat. And we have like this little island in the south of Italy where we get all these boats, and literally there's corpses in the water because sometimes these boats don't make it till the shore. And we can't send them back. We can't build a wall or do stuff like that. And often Italy is criticized for like the economic problems and stuff, but
now, you're not talking about 100 people. You're talking about hundreds of thousands
of people.
We're not talking like, and I love the ratio you gave. You said, United States has like 300, whatever, how many million people.
Yeah.
And we're going to let in like 10,000.
Yeah, I remember there was like this huge disdain that we once had in Europe where on the papers they were like, the United States say they will accept 10,000 immigrants. And we were like, what? I mean, right. Germany has more than 100,000, right. And it's a little country if you compare it to the United States.
Right.
And the thing is, in Italy, we can't send them back because, like I said, there's the sea. So if we sent them back, we would basically kill them. So ethically, we can't do that. It's like no one wants to take that responsibility, and if someone did it, I mean, the people wouldn't like it because It's basically killing people. And the thing is, Italy is the only European country, along with Spain, but Spain has a smaller problem because the shore is like smaller and the distance between Africa and Spain is shorter, so they can send them back without killing them.
So you get the African population from war, and then you also get in the Middle Eastern.
Middle Eastern and African, yeah. Wow. And now Middle Eastern people are also escaping from war again, Right. So that's sad too.
Just curious, do you even have a term and I don't know, maybe you do, in Italian that refers to illegal immigration? Is there such a term?
Illegal immigration?
Yeah.
Well, we consider them refugees right now.
Okay, so
because they're war refugees. And then there is illegal people, like when we say permesso di soggiorno, oh my God, it's basically you have a permit to live in the state, and if you don't have that, you can't stay in the state. So we do have that thing.
Okay.
It's not like anybody.
But then you were like one step further, and I know we got to go to break, but I'm just fascinated. You were saying, the Italians are beautiful people. And like you said, your economy is not doing well for taking the immigration and the refugees aside. So what other problems? Because you're a kid, so now. What's happening to that generation? What are they becoming?
So the thing is that Italy has already a bad economic situation, and when you have a bad economic situation, you try to get the most help possible from your state. But when then your state is overwhelmed by thousands and thousands of refugees, and the state has to help these people because they are people, then the Italian person that needs help too is like, what? I mean, that help was supposed to be for me. And so the population, like, there's more and more racism. That's the problem, because when economically you're not okay, and then the help that you could get has to be shared with someone else that's not from your country, that triggers racism, and that's really, really bad.
Dr. D, you want to say something?
No.
Say anything.
Like you, I'm fascinated.
I'm just fascinated with how she knows she's got it all. She has opinions.
Well, the most profound thing that you've said thus far is that the Italians in particular, but I'm sure the other European countries along the the northern Mediterranean, they view these people as people. But I don't see that same sensitivity, if you will, in spite of my feelings in regards to the laws of this country, that most people don't see them coming across our borders as human beings, as people.
It's probably because, I don't know, the moment someone is in a really bad situation like war, people are like, oh, okay, that's a bad situation. I get that you want to leave your country. But then when there's economic problems, people might be like, oh, what are you complaining about? Go back to your country. But you can't say that to someone that's in war. It's like, it sounds really bad what I'm saying, but it's actually like that. Like, unless someone is really like sort of tortured and under threat of life, then you don't really say, like, you don't really have compassion. I don't see that in many people.
It's almost like what we're experiencing now is, instead of a national consciousness, like I'm an American, I'm an Italian, we're having to work on, okay, who's in my tribe? So your tribe is your people that, you know, are closest to you, that you're looking out for. And for the most part, I think we all know about 150 to 200 people, and that's kind of our intimate tribe. But we're also learning that we are a tribe of human beings, and we have to expand our consciousness in that way. So maybe that will help, so that we're not so focused on country, but rather we're meeting the needs of us all as people.
Nice. Very well put. Dominique Hackett, you always, add such clarity to a situation. Well, let's do this. Let's take a quick little break. This is Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. We'll be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m. And Laura, where else can you find us?
You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, teensportsradio.com, and YouTube.
Nice. Thank you, Dominique.
Thank you.
Far, far away. Dominique Hackett. Hey, we got a great show today. We've got Tom Reed from the Unity Shop. Put your hands together. Yep. We've got Victoria, the sourdough bread lady, returning because I asked her to come back because I was starving. All right, but first off, let's get together with Jonny Ward, coach, Carpinteria High School basketball. How you doing, Jonny?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, pleasure. We're going to switch over here. There you go. We're going to give you a mic down over here. Okay, right? You got to smush that. Look at that. Nice. How come you're not touching your sourdough bread and cheese? What? You on a carb diet? No. There's no yeast in here. Yeah, there you go. There's no yeast in here. So anyway, you had a great season. You went to the playoffs. Very nice. And then you retired. What is up with that, Jonny? What are you doing to me? I'm like, what is going on? We got all kinds. Look, know who's licking his lips right here? It's Michael Baker. Because I need a basketball coach.
I do.
But you quit while you're ahead, while you're on top, right?
Yeah, it's been a long 6 years. We did do very successful this year. I think we overachieved a little bit for what we usually have down in Carp. We're not known for having the tallest people, so we had some size. We had some good guard play, and we were able to go 16-10 in league after. 16-10 overall, second in league after finishing last place last year.
Yeah, sweet.
So
now, this has nothing to do, I heard a little bird told me you're getting married.
I am getting married.
So that's nothing to do with, she wants more attention because, basketball, that's a lot of time on the road. You got a lot. That's nothing to do with that, right?
There's a little bit there.
Oh!
But it's coming from me.
Get in there. This guy's been around kids and coaching for his whole life since he was a little boy.
Not a good way to start the wedding. Just telling you, okay? Trust me.
Yeah.
Doc, you may want to edit that out.
Yeah, no.
You may pay him to edit that out.
We're just playing with you. All right. So when the season first started, especially after coming off your losing season last year, so how do you get the boys pumped up for that?
It starts in the summer, just getting them back in the gym, getting them psyched up to play basketball again. Every year it's a whole new crew when you're in high school. Kids graduate and they don't come back, so you got to get the next mold in there, get them playing together. And, this summer we didn't do very well, but the kids stuck together. They bought into the system, and with some additions that came on at the beginning of the school year and the beginning of the season, we were really able to take ourselves to another level.
And on those kids that you had over the summer, and then which one was like, you just saw it and, they just made it for you? I mean, what kid just totally, was it maybe a C+, B- player and just totally killed it for you? Who, can you throw out some names?
I can throw out some names. They weren't necessarily C+, B- players. I knew they were A players. Jax Montgomery, who was one of my top 3 players, and guard Eli Correa really surprised me after having to sit out his sophomore year.
Nice. Well, when I never, because I love all, Michael knows I love all kids. I'm just saying they just popped. It's just kind of like who's hot. like you said, they got together, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, where'd you come from? Where were you over the summer?
What the coach doesn't know is I actually went to a meeting at Carpinteria High School probably about a month ago. Yeah, about a month ago. And I popped in, and I was looking in the gym, and you guys had practice going on. And what a well-conditioned team you had. Very well-conditioned. I mean, phenomenally conditioned team.
Well, look at the coach.
I'm just saying, you ran hard, and I bet that was a big key to your success.
Well, you got like 2% body fat. What do you expect?
You got to do. It's got to.
Conditioning was definitely big for us. Knowing that we're not very tall, we know we need to be fast. And my offense was built around speed and precision, and you have to be in shape for it.
Yep.
So what inspiring words did you give them after coming from a losing season?
There wasn't a whole lot that we needed to say. We knew that they were better than we played, better than we performed. New kids coming in. Everyone just kind of blended together. It made my job really easy, actually.
Nice. So this is encouraging for anyone who's having a bad season right now. They know to look forward to the future.
Yes.
So what was really, as far as early retirement, how do you feel? doing something for 6 years, I know. I had a 27-year run of coaching, and it doesn't, I don't care if it's kindergarten. The thing is, you have a pattern, and it's all of a sudden I'm like, waking up and I'm almost, getting like jumpy, like, oh, I got to be someplace and I'm not there. And it took like 3 or 4 months to get used to that, not doing it. And so how are you dealing with that? 6 years is a long time.
6 years is
high school basketball is extreme. The rigor of a high school basketball, it is a grind. For your just stipend, $1,500. It's just like, I'm just saying, we need to change that.
We don't do it for the money.
No. But we need to change that. It's not even. You don't need to make $90 an hour, okay? But you need to at least have your gas paid. You know what I mean? Can I have a gas card, please?
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Especially when I did it, there was like almost $5 a gallon. So I'm saying, Lincoln Navigator, dude, click. That was $100.
Think about the impact he's had on kids' lives.
Oh, amazing.
The close relationships that you're having on a daily basis. You're spending a couple hours every day with those kids. As I said to you before, Erica, the person that had the most profound impact on me in my life was my high school basketball coach.
Right.
And to this day, I call him up once a week.
Aww.
And we were terrible. We were a horrible basketball team, but he still is a great role model for me. So thank you for what you do.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it was a fun run. I'd been coaching at Carp since I was 19. Assisted coaching for my dad to start before he passed away is when I took over.
Right.
And just being able to interact with the kids is something people don't think about as often when it comes to coaching. They might just look at a win-loss record, see how you did, but they don't see the practices every day, the bus rides. They don't see the relationships that you get to build. They don't get to see the kids come up and ask you a personal question. So those are a lot of the memories that I'm going to take away.
It reminds me of my all-time top of the list favorite. I love the movie Hoosiers.
Yep.
And when he pulls the guys in before the big game, the final big game, and he looks them all in the eyes and he says, "I love you guys." Oh. And it just is. If you've coached kids, you just know it's such a powerful connection.
Right.
It's awesome.
Yeah, Bill Pintard, when they won his last championship, that's what he said that he was talking to the kids about. And he goes, it's the weirdest thing, and he was just going through the whole thing, and he just basically, did his whole sermon was about love and how he felt about this group of guys and how this group of guys was particularly extremely special to him. And really, they just all lit up. And that's just the thing is, you would never even think that a coach is really coaching about love, but there's a lot of sensitivity to that.
People don't realize that love is like a magnetizing force. It has a magic potential that is totally underestimated. So anytime we can have an opportunity to express our love to another human being, all it does is light you up. It's amazing.
Nice. Or you have any questions?
Yeah, I wanted to ask if you changed something in the dynamics or like in the relationship with the kids from the last year to this year.
We really just changed up the way we played. I opened it up a lot more for them to do their own thing out on the court, try to let them do what they do best. In the relationships, we softened up, less of the drill sergeant. Being 27 and having them be 18, the relationship is a little bit different as it is.
Sure.
but I was acted more like my dad the first few years. Acting like someone older than I was, and then being more relatable to the kids definitely paid off.
No, that was a smart move, because you were that little boy, like your father was a legend in this town. So you were that little boy, probably that just all, when you're a little one, you're just, come on, we're going to practice. So your whole life has really been around. I can't even believe how you could walk away. Just is wild. I mean, your whole life has been on the floor, right? Doesn't even make sense. I mean, it's just difficult. So what are you going to be doing? Not that I'm nosy.
I work for LinkedIn in Carpinteria, so I'm going to be working a lot on work, getting married, so I'm going to eventually start a family.
Nice.
And, I'm still going to be around the gym. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to watch games. I told the kids I'd be there.
Right.
They're returning, and, I'm just looking for my next play.
Yeah? You can't think of maybe, you'd never go down. I mean, because you're the head coach. I can't see you assisting, but, maybe camps, no?
If a couple of camps want me to come work, I'd be happy to do that. In a couple of years, who knows? I might just get a big enough itch to get myself back out there, maybe start at a lower level assistant coach and, really help build the kids up fundamentally.
Nice.
I think that's something that's lacking a little bit, is a lot of the fundamentals. They watch all these high profile athletes travel and double dribble and all this, instead of like Sal taught me when I played for Sal growing up, the fundamentals, how to jump stop, how to pivot, how to throw a good bounce pass. All those things I think are needed still.
I'm really grateful to Erica, because she taught me that a basketball spins. I'm sorry, but I knew a football spin. I did not know a basketball spins.
Okay, Dominique, thank you. Guess what? We're going to go on break. Yeah! This is Erica Salda. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m. And Laura, grab a mic. Where else can you find us?
You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, teensportsradio.com, and YouTube.
Nice. You know what I have to do? I always forget. I don't know. How can I forget to do this?
That mic pivots. You do realize that, don't you?
Yeah, I know. That's me. Thank you. But I've got to go out and, we have the business ads on Teen Sports Radio. And a lot of people, if you ever visit our business partners, what those people are doing in this community is absolutely amazing. And I always like to just, share with the community and just let people know that we got a couple of folks on here that I just want to just give an extra special love to. Of course, Patricia Braggs. She was here last week. I mean, she just gives cases and cases and bags and bags and bags, and she just fills them up. I mean, it's like Christmas here when Patricia's here. Patricia, we love you. We were so blessed. We had Fairview Gardens. And my friend Angela was here, and they were trying to do this kids circle for Herb Garden. Boom, and I, she's waving at me. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm going to get you, Patricia. I'm going to get you. I'm not even paying attention. We're trying to get the whole Herb Garden thing out, and then finally she, I don't know. She just like rips the thing, and she was. They donated the money for the Herb Garden. There you go. Right there. Right there. That's what happens. This is what Santa Barbara does. I mean, it's just amazing. I also want to thank Jimmy Thayton, Masonry and Concrete. Let's put our hands together. Yay. Of course, Jimmy, we love you. We've got Joanne Stoltz. Of course, Dr. Scott Noble. Group Professionals. We are nothing without Robert Burrows. How about Galita Sushi House, right? Huh? She's part of our downtown little fundraiser we do in Old Town Galita. Many of the businesses down there include Santa Cruz Market, the flower shop down there. I mean, there's not a shop that has not received the boxes. Every time those boxes are filled, what they do is they just total up the money, they cut a check, and all that money goes to Galita Boys and Girls Club. So we thank you all for that. We got Saul Alcaraz, Santa Barbara Glass, any of our nonprofits that want to get something donated for their auction. You go to Saul Alcaraz, you say Teen Sports Radio, boom, he's going to blow something up. You can auction it off, keep that money, and how can you not love Saul?
And you use the phrase often that things just they blow up. But with Saul, it's true. It's really true.
It's serious. Let's see, Pat Thomas Drywall. We got European Sun, Terry Cooper, Calamity Jan. We love her. You just finished your Audible book with Calamity. Ghost Girl in Car Number 9. Superior Fitness and Wellness, Stellar Graphics, of course, Unified Medicine, Brian Folk. The list is just so long, and I want to thank every single person And I know I probably forgot somebody, and then I'm going to shoot myself, but I'll add it on next week. Lori Cortez, College Coaching Services.
And this is where the music is supposed to start coming in.
I know, but all these people, you got to say thank you.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how else to say it. So I just want to thank all of the businesses, because really what they're doing to have a place on the site, and we're getting 1 million hits in 2014. We got 1 million hits in 2015. So everything that you've done, Dr. D, I mean, honest to God, we love you. All the producing of all of the commercials, you do it all for free, you know, and what we're trying to do is provide a nice home for our linked nonprofits, because all that money, because it's a direct check to one of our linked nonprofits. So the business money goes to the nonprofits, and we just facilitate. And I want to I told Michael Baker the number, because we just donated another nice little sum money to United Boys and Girls Club, and that gets it up to what? Since you're a co-host now, I'm going to let you announce it.
So the most recent check, $30,000 check.
Correct. So that gets us up, grand total,
$55,000 to the Boys and Girls Clubs of United Boys and Girls Clubs over the last 2 years.
Nice.
So thank you so much.
Oh, we love to do that. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So that almost tips us, since we started this, and this was just like, you know, one of those, you know, you and I had one of those magic moments. Hey, do you think we could do this? You know, and he's like, well, why not? I mean, you know, when you're talking to the producer, he's like, great. So anyway, everybody put your hands together. It's $500,000. So
you missed one. You missed one. You forgot to thank the Academy.
Yeah. So right. So I had to just get all that out there. So what can I do? In the house right now, we've got the sourdough bread lady, and Victoria, I love you. You brought all this bread again. You got the cheese. You got the spread. You got the whole thing. So last time you were here, you shared a story walking into the studio, and I loved it. What did you say? Tell us a story.
Well, I said, Erica, good news and bad news.
Okay.
I got a response from the listener. He emailed me, and he said, "Oh, I heard your sourdough bread as a guest on the radio, but it was hard for me to catch the phone number because you didn't repeat it over and over."
Right.
And like, Erica, what's and she said, "No, it's your accent."
Yeah. Okay. Well, I've got it here. You handed me your phone. I caught a few minutes of your guest spot on KZSB AM Tuesday, and your bread sounds interesting. Is it sold in any place, and where can we get some more? And then he goes on. He goes, the radio host, I'm sure he's talking about me, did a really poor job of informing viewers who you are and who is the olive oil lady. Well, thank you, Patrick, for this wonderful email. And I'm sorry, and I'm going to work on this, and I'm going to blame on Dr. D. No,
and my accent,
and your accent. You're not from Russia. You're an immigrant. Okay,
yeah.
Legal. You're a legal immigrant. Okay.
I'm refugee.
Right, no, you were a refugee. Okay, so there you go. So it's Global Gardens. Okay, you put in the computer. I don't know how old you are, but if you just Google, and Siri will do it if you have an iPhone, say Siri Global Gardens, and it'll pop right up. And her name is Theo, and she's going to be back in about a month, so you'll get to catch her again. And that's there. And then yours, of course, is you're the sourdough bread lady at gmail.com. Okay, give me a minute and tell me how you're making this bread, because there's no yeast.
No. It's purest of the pure, and our body just love every single bite of it. And it's made of sprouted grains, fermented, and I add turmeric, ground flax seeds, psyllium, and all the best ingredients. And is it good?
I have to tell you, this has got to be the best bread I've ever had.
Oh,
I love that. I love it.
It's moist, and it doesn't feel like it's overly nutritious, which is really good. Sometimes it's a little scary. You get somebody's homemade loaf of bread, and it takes you a long time to chew it, and your stomach goes, wow, what'd you give me? But your bread is not only does my mouth celebrate, but when it hits my tummy, my tummy's like, wow, you gave me real food. So thank you so much.
It's really, really good. And I mean, it just feels good for your body. It's not just like that it fills you. Like, you know, a nice donut, you like it when it's in your mouth, but then when it gets to your stomach, you're like, ugh.
Nice.
And sometimes the bread does the same thing, but this bread doesn't.
All right, Victoria, we love you, and you're coming back in a few more weeks, but I just wanted to say thank you again for stopping by.
Thank you,
and Dominique,
Dr. D, for having me.
Quick question. Can you tell us again, how did you come up with this recipe?
Well, it's this recipe I got actually started from my friend who brought it from Ukraine, that came from her grandmother, and then I started baking it here, and I met people who were also making sourdough bread, so we were sharing the starters, and it's a combination of starters from all over the world.
Nice. That's it. All right. Sourdough bread lady
at gmail.com.
Hey, it'll be the best thing you ever buy. I'm telling you, this is real food. Your body's going to love you, and that's what you got to put in it.
I knew the story would include it came from the old country.
It's exactly old country.
There you go. And we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yes.
All right. God bless
in
you.
April.
April. All right.
I'm going to the old country next week.
Okay. Brings back some starter.
I will.
Okay,
Actually, I'm taking my bread back there because they're
to sell it.
To eat myself, because they are kind of copying United States. And they're turning into Wonder Bread.
Wonder Bread. No, we don't want that. All right. We've got a lot more. This Erica Salda. I got the smushy sign. It's go time. We'll be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m. All right, Michael Baker's in the house. What? I'm so happy.
How did you know our wedding song?
I know, exactly.
My wife and I danced
Baker's in the house. I'm so happy, Michael. Michael, when is the auction? Carp.
The carp auction? June. I don't have the exact date from you. You caught me off guard.
Oh, no. It's okay.
June 5th or 6th? It's a Saturday.
You know, did I tell you I'm working on the camping for kids in Goleta?
Yeah, you did tell me that.
Yes, I did. And guess what? Because I think I mentioned his name. I want to just say it again because we did get a donation. Patrick Thomas Drywall.
Nice.
Woo! Of course, I had to reach out to. But what I did for him is I started playing. Patrick, I know you're listening because you listen to the show every week. So what I do is I did actually. Dr. D was playing his commercials, and I'm like, run them like twice a show. I said, so I'm just totaling up, like, playing your commercial, playing your commercial, playing your commercial. And he goes, well, yeah, I got to send in that check. Yeah, playing your commercial, playing your commercial. So then I reminded him how much it actually costs, living in this great city of Santa Barbara. Sure. And I know you remember your first time camping. So, and I think I might have, maybe added 2 kids or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? So anyway, but Pat and Sherry Thomas, thank you so much. We so appreciate your support. Hardworking family. Awesome. It's been hard for them. The trades it's been hard on the trades for the last 8 years. It's been hard on many people, because things are, the costs of the materials go up, and you've got to be competitive with everything. So I don't know. Anyway, put your hands together. It's June 4th. Yeah.
June 4th. There you go.
June 4th. Okay, who did you bring? I'm really excited.
I brought the executive director of the Unity Shop, one of the first gentlemen I met when I first came here to Santa Barbara. Good man, Tom Reed.
Woo! Yeah. Tom Reed! Woo! I like it. I clap for myself all the time, because in case I'm the only one.
If you want anything done right, you got to do it yourself. I've always
I love that.
That's why I laugh at my own jokes.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So, all right. So, Tom, there's so many people that are listening that have heard of the Unity Shop, but let's assume that there's people that are driving around right now that have heard of it, but what do they do? Maybe you can talk about what you do and what Unity Shop's all about.
Well, I got to tell you, first of all, it's an honor to be here with you. Thanks for inviting me, and it's fun to be with folks that are just good-hearted and are willing to look at needs. You're looking at kids, families. You're talking about food for families at the Boys and Girls Club. 100 years ago, Pearl Chase had that same sense. And she's the one who started the Unity Shop back then. It was called the Council of Christmas Cheer initially. But she thought families ought to have food at least at Christmas. Kids ought to have toys at least at Christmas. And seniors ought not to be just set aside, left alone, pushed out into the pasture and forgotten about in their last chapter of life. So that was the beginning of what now is known as the Unity Shop. I think there were 4 nonprofits in Santa Barbara at that point, 1917. And they took care of a couple of hundred families. And it's grown over the years now to 10 different programs, and we're up to 20,000 people in the county that we take care of. Now, you talk about kids in poverty. These are the invisible folks, the ones that really don't have a voice. They don't pop up in the newspaper all the time. You're not hearing about them all the time. But it's the support staff for the resort town, actually, is the way it works out. They just are not very visible, and they are the most vulnerable. As soon as there's a dip in the economy, they are the first ones to feel that pressure. And so what Unity Shop does is it becomes a safety net to catch these families. 60% of our clients are single parents. So you got to know, in this town with rents the way they are, if you get a single family with 1 or 2 kids, single parent with 2 or 3 kids, it's a tough deal, just a tough deal. We know how much they're making, about $1,400 a month. They're paying 62% for rent, so the numbers don't work.
Not a lot of money left over.
That's it, and they've got it barely balanced. These are families that are working together, are living together, and if any little thing goes wrong, all of a sudden there's just not enough money left at the end of the month. So if they're faced with, do I pay the rent or do I pay for food? I'll tell you what they're going to do. They're going to buy food for their kids and say, I'll catch up on the rent. Honest, I will. I mean, and then what happens is the whirlpool starts. The landlord gets upset with them. They get behind. There's no emergency reserves to draw upon. So what happens then is they create the situation where they become deep into welfare and welfare dependent, which is not a healthy thing. And they even have that propensity, the risk to go homeless. So what Unity Shop does is we provide that safety net so that they don't go homeless and they don't go deep into welfare, and we provide everything above that basic living situation. So the number one thing is groceries. Almost everybody comes to us for groceries. So now we have a big food drive now to replenish stock our inventories, because during the months of November for Thanksgiving and December for Christmas, we had 3,000 families come to us. Each one gets about $150 worth of food. It used to be a lot of food. That's not a lot now. But still, that amounts to $450,000 worth of food. So we're on it. We're hard after it, and we're doing all we know to do, and we're doing all we know to do to keep the ball rolling with the dollars that it takes to keep going. But it's such a gratifying thing, like everything you're talking about. The people that are taking care of kids, the people that are caring about the Boys and Girls Club, the people that are doing things proactively regardless of the money, are the good-hearted ones that make this society work. Because you don't just put an ad on Craigslist and get somebody to do something at the Unity Shop. If there's not chemistry and heart and spirit, then there's no contentedness, there's no fulfillment. It's just a job. And I got to tell you, the nonprofit world, I have a high regard for people that are just doing what needs to be done for the right reason. And the secondary thing is, how do we pay for this? It's sort of like that.
Well, we're so fortunate in Santa Barbara County to have so many nonprofits, and kids have this wonderful opportunity to get their community service hours working for the various nonprofits. How can kids reach you in order to log in community service hours working for your organization?
Well, that's a good thing. We have 1,800 volunteers, and a lot of them are kids getting community service hours. And, kids are kids, and so they got to get these 60 hours or 80 hours, whatever it is, and they're kind of waiting until the end because they really don't want to do it anyway. But when they come down to Unity Shop, it's a fun environment. They're learning actually some good job skills, some inventory control, even barcoding. They're learning merchandising, customer service. We have the electronic scanners to run the inventory barcodes and all. And so they're learning some useful things. And we know about 30% of these kids are not going on to higher education. So to have some job skills and some behavioral training, some work ethic, a little bit of resume help, they can get a job in retail or warehousing or someplace. And the way to do it is to come to the website, which is unityshop.org. Shop is SHOPPE, of course, or they can come right down to the Family Services Center, brand new. It's been open just for 2 years. It's at 1401 Chapala. at the corner of Chapala and Sola, and they can come down, sign up, and volunteer. They'll have a great time.
So, any particular foods that you're looking for canned? I mean, if anybody just I was looking through my pantry, I'm like, oh, okay, whatever we can do to support.
Well, we're actually doing a food drive right now, the months of March and April, to restock shelves. We actually have somebody who's given us a $50,000 matching grant.
Wow!
Because if the dollars come in, they don't have to go to the store and haul food around. I had somebody buy out Vaughn's all the peanut butter they had at Vaughn's, and they had to haul it all the way. But they paid full retail. We can buy 2, 3, 4 times as much with the same dollars, and give them a tax deduction as well.
Right.
And also buy exactly what's needed at exactly that time. We might, even though peanut butter is our number one staple, oddly enough, box cereal number 2, beans and rice number 3. But it could be we need baby food right then, or we need juice, or we need pasta, or whatever it is to balance out that whole thing. So we can buy exactly what's needed, and we do have that match right now that's going to help us.
All right. Don't. We're going to have one more section. I don't want you to leave. I want you to sit right there. I like you.
Nobody's
okay? Because we have a present for you too. All right. So let's stick around. This is Go Time. It's Erica Saul. We'll be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. We've got about a minute and a half left, and I know what you said over break was awesome, Michael, so what do you want to share?
What I love most about Unity Shop when I went to visit it is they actually have a store there, and as the parents go to pick out the items for their family, the kids are with them, and they go through a checkout line, and it gives the parents a sense of dignity because they're not paying for this, but it looks as if they are. And the children don't know any better. They walk away thinking, we went to the store.
You know what we're going to do? I mean, I got a Winky. I love to do Winky, and then all of a sudden Michael winks. There's a lot of winking going on in here. It's a very loving community we have. We'd like to donate a commercial to you.
Oh,
okay?
How nice.
And we're going to donate it to you 4 times a week. And you can change it as many times as you want. See, I'm not looking at Dr. D when he's looking at me now. Okay, so you want to change that commercial once a week. You go change it, okay? Right. But we love the Unity Shop. We so appreciate you and everything that you do in the community. We are here to support you, and we mean that from the bottom of our heart because you definitely are helping the community in huge, huge ways. God bless you, seriously.
Well, thank you. You're all about kids. We have 9,000 minor children we're taking care of, and we feel like we're partnering with you.
Oh, we love you. All right, this is Erica Salda. No better place in the planet to live is Santa Barbara. God bless Santa Barbara. See you next week.